Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope everyone's doing well today. Today we have another class that I have set up, and I think everyone's going to like this one. This one's called Nine Ways to Become a Ripped Vegan. All right. So summer's on its way, right around the corner. If you haven't started your New Year's resolutions yet, man, you better start now because you're not going to get that ripped six pack, especially if you're trying to be on a plant-based diet by summer. So you have to start now. But with that said, I'm going to give you all some tips when it comes to becoming that ripped vegan, so you can be able to be very successful at this. Okay. And then this is something that y'all can do as well. Let me go ahead and first let me pull up this. Shouldn't show that. Let's see. All right, so let's pull up some like the presentation when it comes to that. All right, and if you're following me on Instagram, you want to see the presentation. I think you can actually see it through Instagram as well, but you could definitely see more of it on YouTube as well. On my YouTube channel, you can just go to Vegan Live Fit, and you can watch this presentation there as well. Okay. Um, so let me go ahead and bring this up. All right, so just give me a sec. All right, so y'all should be seeing this right now. All right, the new vegan blueprint. All right, and it's 9 ways how to get ripped without eating meat. Okay, uh, that's what it is. So here's some of my students that actually been in the program. Let me actually blow this up too. I'll blow this up for y'all. So there's some of the individuals that's been in my program and they got some great results. Like we have Aaron Greiger from Fairmont, Minnesota, who lost 16 weeks and 10 pounds. For you guys in the other parts of the world, that's 7 kilograms in 10 weeks. And he was able to do this before Christmas, as you can see. And you see, like he had a little belly, and then in within 10 weeks, he lost 16 weeks and already have that ripped six pack. All right. So obviously a lot of the weight that he lost was actually fat. And this is something that you want to really uh, keep in mind. Weight is different than fat. You don't want most people when they're on a weight loss journey, you're looking to drop actual fat so you can see more tone, more definition throughout the body. All right. So this is one of my students before. And then right here we have Keith Shavers from Scottsdale, Arizona. He actually lost over 27 pounds in only 8 weeks. And here's the thing: the reality is this: when it comes down to weight loss, you can't compare all the transformations to everyone because everyone's going to be different. So as you saw with Aaron, he lost a lot more weight. Um, sorry, Keith lost more weight than Aaron. You know what I'm saying? But these are two different bodies and they're starting at two different places. Okay. So everyone will have different results, but it also determines like where they're at, exercise background, the intensity, their lifestyle, like all this can play into a manipulation when it comes to different results. But at the end of the day, there is one thing that these students are doing, and they're in a calorie deficit. All right. So as you can see with Keith Shaver, she actually lost 27 pounds in eight weeks, and he learned how to be able to get all the foods he needs, how to be able to be successful in the calorie deficit. Then we have his wife, Jasmine Schaefer's. She actually lost 45 pounds in 12 weeks. Now she lost a lot more weight because this is pregnancy, like post pregnancy weight. You know what I'm saying? So after she had her baby, she wanted to go ahead and lose all that extra baby weight that she had, which we were able to do this in 12 weeks. All right. So that's why she was able to lose a lot more because the type of weight was mostly from the baby. You know what I'm saying? Like after having the baby and then the extra baby weight. So, but again, she still was on the deficit. She got amazing results. Then we have James Hibbs, from Boca Raton, Florida. He actually lost 27 pounds in 16 weeks. And as you can see right here, there's a personal testimonial that he actually texted me. He said that, to sum it up, he had high cholesterol. His LDLs was high. It was in the 200s, over the 200s. Being in the program, we were able to get his LDL cholesterol all the way down to 107, which is in the healthy range. And it was and the funny thing about this LDL and stuff, there's people on the internet who actually believe that, you know there's no such thing as high cholesterol. And it's like, where are people getting this literature from? Because I don't understand. Because I'm like, if you have high LDL, your doctor will prescribe you some, medication, cholesterol medication. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're going to tell you certain things that you probably don't like. And most of this stuff that I'm hearing it from is mostly from people on like an animal-based diet or a carnivore diet. But I always tell those individuals, like, if that's what you want to believe, go ahead. Just wait within time when plaques start catching up into your arteries, and then your doctors is actually prescribing you medications, and let's see how far that's going to go, because this is just basic health and science. I mean, this is stuff that you learn. I mean, I learned about that in middle school, man. In my middle school class, like, you don't even have to be a dietitian to know about that, but it is what it is. But going back to here, with James Hips, he actually lost 27 pounds in 16 weeks. All right. And we were able to lower his cholesterol levels, and he's more active, and he's feeling great. All right. Then we have Carlton Epps from Little Elm, Texas, who lost 8 pounds in 16 weeks. Now you can see with certain people, like for Keith, just with small amount of toning, he was able to get like a ridiculous ripped 6-pack just from 8 pounds. But as you can see with Carlton, like, he was already lean, he was already like healthy. It wasn't that he was not healthy. He just needed a little bit more tone, a little bit more definition to get that ripped 6-pack that he was focusing on. And from what he said in his testimonial, if you read the top, he said that he's been trying to. The last time he looked like this was 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't know what he was doing before versus now that he couldn't get that 6-pack. And I just told him straight up, I was like, Carlton, it's just really your diet. You just have to clean it up a little bit, and that's it. It's not that you're unhealthy. It's just that if you're trying to build more mass and also get ripped, because you can even see here, he looks way more muscular. You just need to work on the diet. So that's what we did. All right. So the question is, if you had 3 days a week to train, an exact custom made plan for you and your goals, and a step-by-step guide on how you eat vegan food that are delicious, and so also is going to help you build muscle, and you had the exact steps to get there, could you do it? All right. Now, obviously, I don't even have to look at the comment section. I mean, if you had a guide, I mean, even if I was reading this and I wasn't even a coach and I saw this, of course, right? So let's move forward. All right, because that's great to hear, because that's exactly what I'm going to give you today. All right. So that's the whole point of this presentation today. I'm going to give you those tips that's going to help you put on some muscle, be able to get that ripped 6-pack. All right. So you'll be able to do so. All right. Now, my goal today is very simple. I'm going to show you the fastest way to get ripped and build muscle living a vegan lifestyle. All right. Now, the reason I don't like, if you know me by now, I do fumble that word, like vegan diet, vegan lifestyle, and I do it on purpose. Okay. But what I really preach and what I really push in my business is lifestyle changes. Okay. And it does, and I want to be very honest with you, it doesn't have to be vegan lifestyle. It doesn't have to be vegan lifestyle, but it has to be mostly whole foods, plant-based. That's what I push the most. And the reason I say it doesn't have to be vegan lifestyle, because veganism is more of an ethical choice. Okay. That's because when it comes to vegans and people that label themselves as vegans, they have an ethical stance when it comes to animals. Like it's they're living the lifestyle mostly for animals. They vegans don't want to contribute the pain and suffering and the death of animals for food. Okay. Or clothing, anything you could kind of, if you kind of think about it, any type of exploitation, anything you could think of, food, clothing, exploitation, anything you could pretty much think about, that's a vegan, and that's what I am. I'm personally a vegan, okay, but I do live a whole foods plant based lifestyle. So that means that I majority eat whole food plant based. These are foods that's not processed, right? It's in its original state. Now, for me personally, about 80-90% of my diet, well, I would say mostly 80% of my diet is whole foods plant based. All right. And then that last 20% is going to be processed because I'm going to be honest with you. I do have pancakes. I have waffles. I drink coffee. I drink teas. And this is all considered processed. And remember, anything that's not in its original state is considered processed. I have pizza, cakes, pancakes. I have junk food from time to time. All right. But I still keep in mind that majority of my diet has to be whole food plant based because I want to make sure that I'm healthy. But at the same time, I have a lifestyle that I truly can stick with and appreciate. All right. Now, this is something that I do for you as well, because I know some people don't want to give up their favorite foods, right? Some people don't want to kill animals in the process, and they don't want to waste a lot of time because I know when I was a new vegan, man, like it was tough, and that's why you always hear me say new vegan, right? And saying that if you need any help, right, just go ahead and comment down below new vegan, and I'll send you the link so you can go ahead and schedule an appointment so we can go ahead and see how I can help you. Okay. But and you're gonna hear me say this throughout the progress. All right. So new vegan, I'll send you that link. All right. But I know when I was a vegan, I was in stores reading labels, looking at ingredients. Like I was doing this before the whole trend of doing it on reels. I just never thought like I should actually record myself doing it. That's the only difference, right? But I used to spend hours in the grocery store trying to figure out what's vegan, what's not, what's the best foods to eat, what's not, what's the difference from organic. And because I spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money in education and learning this stuff, I know that it can be very frustrating. And it's one of the reasons why some vegans start becoming ex-vegans, or it doesn't work out. They get malnourished just because the time, it's like you're trying to relearn something completely different. It's not like other diets like keto or paleo, Mediterranean diets, where it has certain key items where you just have to eliminate certain types of foods and you can still have certain foods that you normally eat every day, and you already have the knowledge and where to get those foods from, and you already know what's good, what's bad. Vegan is like a complete opposite of everything. Anything you probably know is more likely complete opposite, because you remember you're taking out all animal-based byproducts. So that's eggs, dairy, chicken, beef, pork, fish, shellfish. You're taking all those foods out, and now you're trying to work with foods that you normally probably didn't consume a lot of. Because I know when I was a carnivore or eating an animal-based diet, I wasn't eating as many plants that I was before, back then versus now. Okay, I wasn't. So it was kind of hard to fathom, like, how can I get protein from beans? How can I get all this protein from rice and from vegetables, from fruits, from nuts and seeds? Like, how do I do all of this? You know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to figure out the missing pieces to make sure I'm getting the proper vitamins and minerals. All right. Now, again, I know all this might sound crazy, right? But at the same time, you can see all the testimonials that I have. All right. And I could keep going on and on with people who was able to, literally reverse their diabetes, go from diabetes to not taking medications, was able to lose inches off their waist, transform their bodies. All right. We have tons of testimonials here, like tons.
Hello,
Okay.
plant-based
Here's
family.
one right
My
now.
name is James, speaking to you from Oakland, California, where I just finished a 16-week program with Corinne Sutton and Body HD Fitness. I want to share with you a brief part of my fitness journey and how Corinne has helped me to meet and exceed the fitness goals that I had for myself. Before I started working with Corinne, I was 217 pounds. My body fat was at 22%. I've been active as an Olympic weightlifter, long distance runner, doing yoga, and some other activities. I reached out to Corinne because I wanted to reduce my body fat, get lean, and to continue a plant-based lifestyle. Corinne created a meal plan and a workout routine for me to complete over that 16-week period. We did check-ins every couple of weeks where I uploaded some photos of the visual progress. I did the measurements for my body, and we were able to see how things were progressing over that time. So I'm glad to say that from that 217 pounds, I was able to go down to 185 pounds, and from 22% body fat going down to 13% body fat. This is the best results that I've seen in a long time for myself. I'm thankful for Corinne for putting in the effort to create those meal plans, to do the check-ins with me, to support me in being consistent. Corinne's favorite thing for me was don't F it up, and I didn't over that time. So I was able to see those results. I feel great. I look great. And I'm really thankful again for all the effort that he put in. So anybody who's looking to be serious about their fitness journey and wants to move forward with a plant-based lifestyle, do reach out to Corinne, look at the programming, see which one is the best fit for you, and go for it. Good luck to you. Thanks, Corinne, so much. I look forward to doing it again soon.
So as you saw, like, I could do this all day. All right. But again, if this is something that you want to go ahead and move forward with, you feel already like, hey man, I need some help. Remember, just go ahead, comment down below, new vegan. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and, send you that link. Okay. That's what we'll do for you. Let me see. Let me check. Is anyone saying new vegan? Anyone got questions so far? All right, so we got Ellis. All right, so let me go ahead. Yeah, we got some people saying new vegan, new vegan. All right, perfect. So I'll go ahead and send that to you. Okay, just give me a sec when I'll go ahead and send that to y'all. All right, cool. So remember, just say new vegan. We can go ahead and schedule a session. Okay. Just trying to see where's the chat for YouTube, but I don't know what's going on. All right, so we'll just go ahead and keep moving forward. All right, so let's go ahead and continue that presentation. All right, so let's give me a sec. All right, so let's go back where we were. All right, so we were right here. All right, so just a little bit about myself. You know, I've been vegan for over 11 years, going on 12 pretty soon. Deployed to Operation Iraqi Freedom 3 and 4. So this is like some pictures of me in the military. I did like the United States Marine Corps for 4 years, fully active service. Then also did the United States Navy Reserves as well for another 4 years. Okay. Then I was also I'm a public speaker and been on TV as well. So as you see on top center, that's when I was in Veganville, and y'all can probably see some familiar faces, especially from the new documentary Pignorant, right? Which is on Amazon Prime. Joey Carbstrong and Danny Shepard. You can see both of them right there on the right hand side of me. They just came out with that new documentary, but before that documentary that came out, when it comes to animal ethics, which I highly recommend to watch, is still on Amazon Prime right now. All over the world, you can watch it. They, I was on, I I was part of the cast of Veganville, which was done in the UK. It was released, I believe, in 2020, and we were trying to get the whole city of Cardiff to go vegan. All right, so that was definitely a fun time. And then on the upper left hand side, that's when I was on New Day New Chef, which is on Amazon Prime as well. So it was like a cooking show, and they have tons of vegan special guests there as well. And I was one of the special guests because if you've been following me, I'm always creating special dishes, especially macro friendly meals, and making foods that's fast and quick. That's my specialty when it comes to the cooking. There's tons of vegan chefs out there that's amazing, but I know that for the people that I work with, they don't have a lot of time in the kitchen. They're very busy. They need foods that's quick, easy, and something that just tastes good. Something that's going to you know, that's going to spice up their taste palette. So that's why I specialize, especially foods that's healthy and macro friendly. Also, I'm still with the team Vegan Strong. So you can see like Robert Sheik and some of the other cats right here. And then down below, like I said, I do public speaking. I travel around the world. So this was a speaking event I did in Lithuania, and that was in a shopping mall. They actually did a whole vegan festival in the shopping mall, and they literally shut down like half of the mall to do this event. And you can see and you can see how many people I was talking to, and this is just the speaking room, like that's just the speaking room. You can see literally people sitting on the floor to listen to my speech and my presentation, which I did talk about like how to get protein on a plant-based diet. But this is one out of many events that I've done, traveling and speaking and just educating people, because it's something that I truly enjoy. And as you can see, like I said before, I'm vegan for the animals. When I grew up, and trust me, when I was consuming meat, all these animals you see that I'm in pictures with, like I used to eat it, like bison, turkeys, chicken, pork, goat, turkey. I would eat them all. But it got to a point when I realized that, I need to really think about these animals. Like I wasn't really thinking about them as like living beings. I was looking at them as food. You know what I'm saying? And once I went vegan and I started going to these animal sanctuaries and creating these relationships with these animals, you could definitely notice like they all have that will to live. They all have the same sensories and same type of attitudes when it comes to like if you own a pet like a dog and cat. They know what love is. They all have different personalities. But it's sad to say that when I read, because I read some of the comments in the comment section, I'm going to be honest with you, but like it's sad sometimes. And the reason I don't comment in some of them, because I'm not talking about the people who agree with me. Like I appreciate that to the fullest, but the people who disagree and just, and it's okay to disagree, but when you're just sitting there and just typing in like animals are stupid, they're dumb, they're meant for food, I'm a carnivore, like blah blah blah, and just has no sense of compassion when it comes to these living beings. This is the greatest form of cognitive distancing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I know like a lot of people are nice, a lot of people do love animals from what they say, but the difference between them and myself is just that, I actually show through action, and I actually get out of my house, get out of the computer screens, actually go to the locations and visit these animals and see how they live, see how they're treated, listen to some of their stories. Like some of these animals do have like hard stories, like the bull that you see on the upper top right. His name's Brownie, and he was like, he was supposed to be killed for meat, you know what I'm saying? And he was genetically modified, pumped up with steroids. They told me that he used to be a lot bigger when they had the steroids in him, because the more muscle the animal have, that's more meat. You know what I'm saying? And if you see how big this cow is, it's ridiculous. So he wasn't just living a horrible life, but because they were abusing him and stuff like that, but also at the same time they were putting drugs in him, you know, and they were abusing him with drugs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when I saw that, like, and you see him now, like you see he's a lot leaner, he's healthy, he's natty, you can say now, eating regular food, living on a big green actual big green pasture with some of his fellow cows or whatever, you know, is happy, you know, and that's some of the, and he actually trusts humans again, you know, and they even said it took him a long time for like him to even interact with other humans because of the type of treatment, you know what I'm saying? And this is some of the things that people don't listen to or don't pay attention to when it comes to this abuse. People just try to fill up that void and just pretend it doesn't happen, you know. And then you can see this is when I was consuming meat, you know. I wasn't like super fat or anything, but like I was definitely overweight. I was drinking and doing all those things, partying a lot, really didn't care about life that much, you know, just living it truthfully, YOLO life, you only live once type lifestyle. But then that's when I met Gary Roski, you know, and if you don't know about Gary Roski, this guy is he's a vegan activist and very hardcore. And when people get triggered by some of the things I say, oh man, you would definitely get triggered by this guy. But see, the difference between me and him is that I liked his style of activism, and I like people who are aggressive because I do come from an aggressive background. I was in the military for 8 years. So when people are telling me like, he was there literally showing me the truth, like saying that, you shouldn't eat meat. This is why, this is abuse. He was just being real, very transparent. And I really love people that's like that. They're very transparent. They don't hold back. They show the truth. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, and when he made his reasoning about like the health reasons, the ethics behind it, the only thing I could have done at that point was just try it out. Let's see how this works. I mean, he didn't got me to a point where, I felt discouraged. And even when because he did this class, you can find him on YouTube as well, but it's called The Best Vegan Speech Ever. You could definitely find him on YouTube. And if you listen to that speech, it's the same exact speech I listened to, because he actually came to my classroom when I was in college and did the speech live. So I actually saw him live. And people did leave the classroom and got triggered and left because they didn't want to see. And when they were leaving, I want to be honest, he even said like, "Oh, why are you leaving?" And they're like, "I don't want to see this." They didn't want to see the animals get slaughtered in the factory farms and stuff like that. And they felt that they were offended. But one of the things he said is like, if you can't sit here and watch how your food is being made, then you definitely don't have a right to eat them, And I was like, man, this guy's hardcore, man. And he's right. And I felt like, yeah, I mean, at least watch it, see what really goes on. Like, let's witness what really goes on when it comes to animal treatment and how my food is made. And when I saw that, it was like I felt like, man, if I was an animal, this would probably be a nightmare for me, And it's actually a nightmare just watching it, knowing that this is how I get most of my food, So after that, that's when I transitioned, started going vegan, started learning about being on a plant-based lifestyle, and then started promoting it myself. All right. And what I found out as well is that, number one, you can't work out a bad diet no matter what. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's vegan, if it's keto or animal-based, carnivore, whatever you're thinking, you can't outwork a bad diet. Yeah, the diet plays 80% no matter what. And my personal thing about the whole vegan plant-based diet, from all the research I've done, I feel that the plant-based diet is going to be the most optimal diet. Like, a lot of diets can work and a lot of diets can be healthy. All right. I'm not stating that you can't be healthy on an animal-based diet. But if you ask me apples and oranges, like which one's the best one, I want to say the plant-based is. Okay, for sure. And like I said, food plays about 80%. All right, and this is the power of plant-based foods versus animal-based foods. Okay, because with the plant-based, there's more fiber, there's more antioxidants, there's more nutrients that's going to help with longevity. Okay, like if you're looking at what diet is going to help me live the longest, I don't care about muscles and all this stuff. Like everyone's so caught up with muscles and how you look. If you're What matters at the end of the day is how long that can you live. Like what's going to help you longevity, what's going to help you stay young and feel young, because the muscles are all going to leave eventually. You know what I'm saying? How you look is those looks, those aesthetics is eventually going to dissipate eventually, but how you feel will play a significant role. I don't want to just be Jack and everything in my 30s and 40s and then feel like crap in my 50s and 60s and getting older. You know what I'm saying? I want to continue to build muscle, look good, but also feel good throughout my aging process. All right, as long as possible. And all the studies definitely point out to that. So again, if you want to book a call with me, go ahead and state go ahead and state down new vegan. All right, just put it into the comment section, say new vegan. I'll go ahead and send you that link so we can go ahead and have a discussion on how I can help you. Okay. And we have one guy from YouTube. He said, "Hey, I love the Vegan Police short videos." And thanks, man. I truly appreciate that, boss man. And also, hopefully, you saw the new one. There's a new one that just got released. Okay, so if you saw that, I know you definitely probably saw the old one, and I have a few other old ones as well in the past that I did with the Vegan Police. But if you saw that previous one, a new one just dropped. If it's not on YouTube, definitely hit up my Instagram. They just dropped it like literally 30 minutes ago. All right, so definitely watch that. I think you enjoy it. I have another question. How long was your transition to the current lifestyle? Do you still suffer from cravings? So, Will, it took me about like 6 to 8 months to transition, for me to transition. When I went from my previous lifestyle, which was the animal-based lifestyle, to a vegan lifestyle. It took me about 6 to 8 months because and here it is. Like I said before, like I saw Gary Yourofsky. Now, once I saw Gary Yourofsky, and here's the real story behind everything. When he finished doing his speech, the first question he actually asked me was this. He was like, the first question I asked him was the same question I always get myself, is like, how do you get the protein? Because I was always working out, like I was in the military and everything, so I always worked out, not like how I used to, not like how I am now as a bodybuilder, but I still go to the gym, do my bro splits and stuff like that, eating chicken breast, broccoli, rice, salads, salmon, tilapia, eggs. I did all that diet. Like even some of the stuff that's online, what people are preaching, it's nothing new. Like I was doing that because Men's Health magazines and bodybuilding magazines, we've been preaching that stuff. That was our Instagram. That was our YouTube back then, so I was doing all of that stuff, and I was putting on muscle. But like I said, like for me, what touched me was the whole animal side of it, of the treatment. And then I never really when he said like you could do this on a plant-based lifestyle, I was interested because it was like a challenge. I was like, like I wonder if I could, eliminate the suffering and do this on a plant-based lifestyle. That's a win-win. Yeah, I just looked at it like that. I didn't look at it. I didn't just make up a blanket statement in my mind, like it's impossible. No, just because I didn't want to go through the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like how you live life like that. Like I don't know. And I guess because in how I live my life, I love challenges. I love to experiment and try different things. So and I'm very open-minded. And when I saw like that, trust me, was there a part of my mind that thought that this probably wouldn't work? Of course. And there was a part in my mind as well, which was like, maybe all this is BS. Like I trust me, I thought about it too. But I was always taught like you can't judge the book by its cover. And if you're really interested in something, try it. See where it can take you. So that's what I did. Like it took me, and that's why it took me 6 to 8 months because I didn't have the internet like how the internet is today. The internet's better because you have so many gurus and health and fitness coaches and dietitians, nutritionists that can definitely help you out. People who's been living the lifestyle like myself, who's willing to help people. So it took me about 6 to 8 months because I was trying to figure out like like where can I get protein from? That was one of the things I struggled with. Um, Learning about food combinations, relearning about nutrient density of different types of foods. And then eventually, once I got introduced to my Fitness Pal, that was a whole another learning curve itself right there. Also learning about what's vegan, what's not vegan. I mean, to the basic stuff when it comes down to like some of the places I used to go to. Like I used to love Krispy Kreme donuts, right? And I thought it was vegan because I'm like, there's no animals, right? And I had a friend who actually hit me up like, bro, like look at the ingredients. I went on their website because again, like when I was vegan back then, we didn't have the internet. It wasn't like so easy to figure out things. So it was like very like old school, you know. So he went on the website and showed me the ingredients list and he was like, it has milk and eggs. And I was like, what? So a lot of stuff like that, like figuring out some of the favorite places I used to go to have milk and eggs. Find out certain like a veggie burger in a restaurant doesn't mean that it's vegan. It could be vegetarian because it could have milk and eggs in the veggie burger, even though it says it's made out of black beans. What keeps the burger together? Like small things like that. Even clothes and stuff like that. Like I just have leather jackets and all that stuff. Learning things like that. Like, if you own a leather jacket, you wear leather jacket or buy leather products. Like that's not vegan. Like this is what they do to animals to that. So it was just very intensive, man. But like that's why it took me so long. Now, when it comes to the cravings, no, because um, the thing about cravings is this: like I never really craved like meat. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like something that I like, oh, I have to have red meat or I have to have eggs. I never was that obsessed with food. Um, I've always worked out for a very long time. I started working out since I was 13 years old. I was playing sports when I was 7. So when it comes to food and nutrition, and I was always fascinated with food, but food for energy. You know what I'm saying? It was always an energy thing for me. I loved it. I love food. I have favorite foods, but I wasn't addicted to a particular food item. I might have my favorites, but not addicted where I was craving. If I'm craving anything, it's because I'm hungry. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. Yeah, but not craving chicken or craving steak or no, never this. It was either I'm hungry or I'm not hungry. So as long as food tastes good and I feel satiated and I'm satisfied, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I never really craved anything. Now, was there foods that I might have missed? Yeah, like for example, like when I first went vegan, I was like full time vegan. I learned everything. There wasn't all these mock meats available. Like I was just doing tofu, seitan, tempeh, and then protein powder, which the protein powders back then tastes like crap. It was like brown rice protein, and it had no flavor. So and like I said, the alternatives was whack. So I was mostly whole foods plant based just by default. I had to, yeah, it was the way to do it. So I did miss certain foods like chicken, steak, burgers. I missed certain things like that because like my burgers I used to eat went from those burgers to like tofu sandwiches. Man, like it's definitely not the same, And, but like, but then when mock meats came out, then I was able to like enjoy some of those things. But now moving forward, especially everything I learned, like certain foods, like even a burger, even a hot dog, um, it's not that I crave it. It's just like if I feel like it, I'll have it. I haven't had it in a long time. I'll have one or something like that just to do. But it's not something that it's not my go-to, if that makes sense. All right. Then we have Yule. He said, I'm cutting now, trying to lose under 1 kilogram ish a week. My diet is based around soy products and seitan now. I think I should get in some legumes as well. Don't have much space for nuts. Well, yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, it really depends on how many calories you are on in that deficit, you know? So, you could do beans, but if you need, like, if you're trying to look for food that has more volume, excuse me, then you want to look at more vegetables and maybe even potatoes. Potatoes are very satiated, high in fiber, high in potassium. And I would do, like, you could do white, you could do sweet, you could do purple. Sweet potatoes, obviously, sweet and purple is going to be your best when it comes to, like, some of the benefits of it, like, because it has a lot of it has beta carotene, the sweet potatoes, which is, like, good for eye health and your skin and stuff like that. And then the purple sweet potatoes have atheroscyanin, which helps with longevity. It helps with longevity, helps with your immunity, helps with what is it called? Free radical damage to your cells. It helps repair your cells as well. So things like that. And white potatoes is healthy, it's good, but it don't have those extra benefits like sweet and purple. But you could do some potatoes. You could mix it up from time to time, and that could help you give more volume and feel more satiated in your diet. Now, let me go ahead and go back to Instagram real quick, just to answer some questions. So, and I think we might stop here, and then I'll go ahead and send out those links for everyone who commented new vegan. But we have one from Instagram, well, two from Instagram. One person says, "Yo, man, just left the gym with Vegan Gary. Oh yeah, he's one of my students. He's the man wondering about protein. People say we need 1.5 grams of protein per body weight. Is that true for us vegans? Plus 200 grams is hard. Well, to just simplify it, I would say yeah. I don't want to get too technical, but I would say yeah. But to make it easy to answer this question very easily, I would say you want to do that with lean muscle mass, and especially if your goal is to build muscle, like you're doing a hypertrophy training program. Your primary goal is to build muscle. You're doing you're doing a bodybuilder's program, and that's your goal. Then you want to do lean. You want to do lean mass. So, like, for example, like right now I'm 194, but I'm eating about like 180 grams of protein because I'm focused on the lean mass that I have, not the fat. So you want to do something like that, like what your lean mass is, like the muscle, how much muscle you're eating, so not eating, but how much muscle you have in your frame. You want to compare that to how much protein you want to eat. All right. And he also said, they say I need 3,300 calories. That's hard when eating clean. Do these numbers change with our clean diets? Well, I always say this. When it comes to that calorie surplus, you have to find that median, because you don't have to be like a crazy surplus. You just have to be in a slight surplus, just enough where you're getting extra energy so you can push your body more. At the same time, making sure that your body fat stays at an optimal level, and you're not putting on too much body fat, and pretty much that's it. And you're getting enough protein. So, oh yeah, well, I was going to say, and not just that, but also making sure that it's comfortable for enough to eat. Okay, so if you have to do 3,300 calories, if it's uncomfortable because you're eating clean, because when you eat clean, it is hard. I want to be very honest with you. I even know, like, I'm at 2,900 calories, and it's pretty difficult to me because I'm eating clean. I'm eating tons of veggies and fruits and grains and legumes, and all this is low calorie food. So it's very hard. I totally understand. But sometimes you have to, like, if let's say like, yeah, my body fat's low, I'm doing 3,300 calories and it's hard for me to put on muscle, then if that's the case, then yeah, you need to figure out a way to get those extra calories in. So maybe try smoothies, maybe try, yeah, it's bad to say this, but it is calorie. You do need calories. So like, adding extra oils to your food, maybe even, like eating things that is processed, that's more calorically dense. Like that's some of the benefits with processed foods too, because sometimes if your goal is to build mass and you're eating all the vegetables, you're eating everything that's clean, but you're having a hard time to put on muscle, then this is the benefits of some of these processed foods. That's why when people say like, oh, process is all bad, and they're just giving a straight blanket statement, I mean, no, it's not. Like there's different qualities of processed foods, and you have to try to get those calories in. So and if that's the goal, then do that, and that's going to help you get to those calories a lot higher. So you could have majority of diet could be whole foods, plant-based until that point where it's like very difficult to get those extra calories, and then maybe those extra calories can be something processed. And when I say process, it doesn't have to automatically be a cake or a cookie. You could look at, like, let's say cold pressed juice, like you could do something healthy as that. You can do protein bars or crackers, or I don't know, anything, high protein pancakes, and things like that, like sandwiches using bread. Like you could do those type of foods and still be considered healthy, and help boost up that calorie intake, because I've done that. That's why I've been doing like more pancakes lately, because I need to eat 2,900 calories. So I make pancakes just to get a little bit of extra calories in. And I'm using like the regular syrup just to get the little bit more calories in. Cause I know how calorically dense it is, but everything else I'm still eating clean too. I'm eating my potatoes. I'm eating my black rice. I'm eating my tofu. I'm eating my vegetables and stuff like that. So majority of the diet is that. But if I have to eat something processed to just get those little bit of extra calories in, I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's all about, moderation and what your goal is at that moment. Okay. And that's what you got to do. All right. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the class here. It's already 12, been here for almost close to an hour. So we'll continue on. Next week and go from there. And then that's it. So remember, I do this every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with classes, Q&As. When it comes to health, fitness, it could even be about business if y'all want to talk about it. Veganism, ethics, or just about myself. I'm always here, always here to answer anyone's questions, even talk about certain videos, that I post out. It doesn't matter, but we'll continue on with the class next week, and hopefully y'all have a good week as well. Peace.